I'm sleeping on the job.
You are sleeping on the job. I'm like, uh-oh. Hi, everybody.
Busy still adjusting and forgot I had that slide up there after the music
Yeah,
ended.
welcome to KnitChat. So I guess before we even start, we just want to make sure that you can see us and hear us, and that you don't see a screen that just says KnitChat. So we are coming to you from Southwestern Ontario. My name is Noelle.
I'm Kelly.
And we are Knits and Pieces, and this is the KnitChat Cafe where we come to you, we come join you. You guys are usually there before us. We come join you every Tuesday for our weekly get together. And yeah, we're so glad that you're all here and ready to chat. And we've had a wonderful day today, weather-wise.
Marianne said she's sitting on the deck knitting for the first time this year. Okay,
I was sitting out today.
But can I mention that when Marianne is posting photos, she looks like she's in some Swedish spa because her yard
with
is
the
full
snow
of
in the background.
and then she's sitting up on her sun deck, just knitting away in her bare feet and everything. It's lovely. So
yeah. Anyways,
okay.
It was beautiful here today. Like it's almost got to have been close to a record. But I was sitting outside knitting. Ross did put the patio furniture out, so it was gorgeous. I was even thinking, I know like you're working, but I was even thinking I should just like go take my chair down under the bridge.
Oh, sure.
Take
Do
my
that
knitting with me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm working. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, oh, I should just take a chair and go visit Kelly for 15 minutes, steal her out of her office and make her come and knit with me. But no. You were selfishly thinking about knitting under the bridge first.
Well, okay, Kelly, if I'm going to choose between knitting under the bridge or knitting out front of the cemetery, I'm going to choose the bridge.
Hey, it's very scenic right now. All of our birds are back. The geese are in the cemetery. It's quite nice. So there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was very nice to just spend some time outside. So
yes, it is. I was doing that yesterday. Well, not outside knitting, but we were out for a walk last night, and it just felt so good to be out in the warmth.
Yep.
Walking
and
around
the
town.
next 3 days are supposed to be really nice too. So
absolutely.
Anyway, we just want to say welcome to everybody. And I kind of took a look through the chat. There were people in here early chatting away, and Julia, and not Julia that knits all the sparkle Julia, but Julia was in here, and she was just in just to say hello. This was back like about half an hour before we started, and said unfortunately she couldn't stay because she had to be up in front of her class 8 hours from now. So I figure she must be, that time difference must be somewhere maybe in the UK or something, where she's got to go back to work. The Easter weekend is over. So anyways, if you're still here, Julia, hi, and thanks for getting the chat started today. And then there was some...
Joanne says that she's sitting on the train. Oh, Joanne's sitting on the Via train on her way home to Sarnia knitting and watching.
Wow.
That's funny.
Well, you're going to have a long time on that if you're on your way home to Sarnia.
Yes.
You probably have time to knit a sweater on that train.
Yes, you probably do. Yes, Nick, I work in a cemetery. I manage a cemetery. It's a very... It's a very big cemetery.
And it is. I'm not saying it's not peaceful, but it's not under the bridge, though.
Yes.
So
okay, we should, before we just get into all the things, we want to say a little bit about, we did say that we're from Southern Ontario, but if you are new and this is your first time tonight and you're already wondering, my gosh, this is a whole lot of chaos, trust me, hang out with us a little bit longer. We will get to the good stuff, the yarn stuff, the knitting stuff. We're getting there. We're settling in. If you are near a keyboard, feel free to join in the conversations. We can see the conversation running down the side of our screen, and just say hey, or tell us what you're working on. Or if you have a question, can't guarantee we know the answer, but we will find somebody in here that I guarantee does know the answer. So it's a very warm and welcoming group, and everyone is welcome. And no question is silly. Just go ahead. All right, now you can start.
So, okay. So it's so nice that people get in here and start chatting before we get on here. So I was just kind of reading through some of that. Lots of people were talking about like trips to Australia and New Zealand. And we were just talking again tonight. My husband's good friend was here who is from New Zealand. And he's like, well, you need to go back because you didn't see this and you didn't see this and you didn't see this. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go back. I'd go back. Well, not yet, but I would go back. So that was kind of nice to see that there's lots of people have been there and really enjoyed it. And then there was also another comment. It was Shannon was talking about that she actually has sheep because she was talking about Washington weather and it was raining and the rain made the grass green and then it was grass for the sheep to eat. So she said she had some Shetland sheep and she had some Navajo churro, which I had never heard of before.
So I'm guessing you got out your handy dandy sheep book.
I did. Well, actually, there was a lot of comments last week about the polypay sheep, and lots of other people knew about it and had knit with the fiber. Someone last week had even said that their dad raised them, and they would actually been gifted like 3 fleeces that they were going to spin, and like that's amazing. Like what a beautiful gift. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so of course I had to look up. I know Shetland sheep, but of course I had to look up the Navajo churro. So I'm going to hold my book up here. It's a really cool looking sheep. So he's got. So can you see that there?
Yes, I can.
So really cool and some really interesting facts. I know you're all interested about these interesting sheep facts, but the Navajo churro is the oldest breed in North America.
Really? In North America?
Yeah. So
okay.
I didn't know that. In North America. And it had originally been brought to the New World by Spanish explorers. Mm-hmm. And then they talk a little about the wool characteristics. And they said it takes some time to get your mind around the type of fleece that it has, that it's double coated, but it feels like it's single coated. And it can feel soft and fine, but it has a reputation for being a really durable fleece as well. So now I want to get some. Now I want to get some and try some. So
I don't know that I've ever heard of that breed before.
I'd never heard of it. They also said that it has a like a luster, like the long wools, except that the gleaming almost seems like it comes from the inside of the fiber as opposed to the outside.
Nice.
Really fascinating. And I mean, like you can tell when you look at that picture, it's kind of like the long. Put it up here again, but it's kind of like the long coat. Like it's not that curly. Mm-hmm, the curly, crimpy stuff. It's kind of like the long coat. So I think it's really cool to see all these different fleeces and different sheep. And maybe I'd like to have a sheep farm.
That would cut into your travel time. Just saying.
That is true. Yeah, I'm not so sure I'd be good at looking after them. So
Christine is talking about she adopted a sheep, a virtual sheep who lives on Fair Isle.
Yeah, that I had seen on the Woolly Thistle that they always do little videos of Rachel who lives on Fair Isle, and they did have like an adopt a sheep program because the cost of running the crofts over there is quite expensive. So yeah, that's cool, and that's maybe my answer, right? I can't have a sheep farm, but maybe I can adopt a couple of sheep.
Can you hold up the book again? Someone is asking for the title again.
Of the book?
Of the book, yes.
Okay. This is the Fleece and Fiber Source book. And it's got like, it's all kinds of things that you knit with. It's not just sheep. There's also yak, camel, Samoyed, vicuna, alpaca. So you can go through and it'll give you all the characteristics, the average weight of the fleece, the microns of the fleece, what the best purposes are for that type of fleece. So it's a really good book, even if you don't spin, even if you just knit. It's kind of nice to know the characteristics.
It's nice to know what you're knitting with, like the background of it. Yeah, I can just picture, if we all had the book, teacher Sarah, what
Sarah would know it all.
She'd be saying, okay, students, now we're going to open our fleece and fiber book to page 63. Noelle's going to read a short chapter about the Navajo churro. Very nice.
That's right.
Very nice. Dawn is asking how your recovery is going.
Kelly was just asking me that before we started. It's going well. I did actually start riding the stationary bike again, and so my back's a little sore today. Not any sorer, but I can just kind of feel it. But it was so nice out too that in the last 2 days, I've done more than I had been doing. And I think I probably just maybe need to slow down a little bit, but I can still knit. So
good.
So we're good. Yeah.
All good.
So it's just frustrating. You just want to be better all at once. So
I'm chuckling at a comment. Marnie says that she is finally taking the jump from vanilla socks and she's knitting the bear paw socks. And she said she's wondering if she's done something wrong because they look like they would cover a part of the male anatomy. If that's what they look like, Marnie, you're on the right track, because every time we knit a pair, that's what we think. These do not look like socks. They look like little covers for something else. But yes,
that's right.
Absolutely. When you put them on, they will fit amazing. They those are some of our favorite socks, those and the DRK everyday socks. So, okay.
So we do have a little bit of admin.
We do. 11 minutes in, and we are only just starting. It's gonna be a long night.
We had a really interesting lesson about sheep.
Well, we did. We sidetracked. We digressed. Okay.
So
admin.
Okay. So it was an episode one of the episodes that we ran when I was in New Zealand was about Little Red Mitten and Leo and Roxy. And we had a prize to give away from that episode. And I believe, Kelly, you've got the prize there.
I do. It's going to crinkle. I'm sorry. It's still in its package. So yes. It is a shawl kit, or I mean, you can use this for anything.
You can do whatever you want with it. That's right.
But they kit this up as a shawl. So it's trying to think, was it pencil point gray?
I can't remember. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does look like pencil point gray.
It's more heathery gray.
Yes. And then there are 6 rainbow colored minis to go with.
Yep. And I believe those are cherry cobbler, Cajun spice, more mustard, garden green, Pacific Point, and Queen's Navy.
No, it's purple.
No,
it's
purple. Okay, it looks navy on my screen, so it's the majestic then.
Majestic purple. This is the Leo and Roxy Yarn Co. kit. This is their Leo and Roxy Basics yarn.
Yep.
And I believe that they use these exact colors to make the shawl. What's it called? Minis Go Big?
Minis Go Big. Yep.
Minis Go Big. Yes. And this was very generously donated from Jolynn. And we said that we would collect comments on that episode and then do a random draw. And I believe you did the random draw.
I did. And we'll pull that up here.
The winner is?
So the winner is Glenda Bathgate, and Glenda is usually in here. I don't know if she's here tonight, and we know that Glenda is from Scotland. So congratulations, Glenda. So it'll make a gorgeous shawl, or you've got enough there to make several pairs of socks if you'd rather do socks with it. And it does make gorgeous socks. It also makes wonderful baby gifts. I'm actually knitting the Friday tees with it right now, and it's making a wonderful fabric in the broken rib. So there's lots that you could do with that kit. But again, congratulations, Glenda. And in order for, she is here. There she goes. She said, thanks very much. So Glenda, if you can, I believe that actually Glenda won a prize before, maybe a year ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the address though. So Glenda, you'll have to send us your address to the email on the bottom of the screen. And I will get that package out in the mail to you. And then you can just hang out at home.
The prompt for that was you had to go onto the Leo and Roxy website and let us know what color you liked. And Glenda had chosen Black Currant, which is a gorgeous, beautiful,
absolutely beautiful,
moody purple. So congratulations, Glenda. So are we going to talk a little bit about the episode that we filmed?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just reading the notes here. Okay. So last weekend, which was the Easter weekend, got together at Noelle's house and we recorded an episode all about New Zealand and talked to Noelle about her trip and looked at some of the goodies that she brought back. While she was away, you recorded some footage of some of the things that you did and some of the people that you talked to and the yarny places you went.
Yep.
So we have all of that compiled. Well, I'm not completely compiled yet. I'm on my way to being completely compiled into an episode for all of you to enjoy. And the planned posting date is actually going to be this Friday. So hopefully I have everything finished by then, and we will put that episode up for the weekend. And Noelle brought us back some giveaways. So I'll show these off too. So if you watch the episode and there's a prompt in there to leave a comment, right?
Yep.
And then she's brought back some very fun skeins. Now there was a charity involved with these as well.
Yes,
correct?
They had actually dyed up those skeins. There was 2 more colors, but they were sold out. But they had dyed them up, and the proceeds from those skeins were going to help people that were affected by the cyclone, because Cyclone Gabrielle had gone through New Zealand about 2 weeks before we got there. And especially in the area where Skeins is, in the Napier area, there was quite extensive damage in some places. So they put together, dyed this yarn, and the proceeds were going actually to that cyclone relief fund. So,
okay,
yeah.
So that's coming up. What else did we have about that? Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think that's it. So just that will be that won't be in place of one of our Tuesday nights. That will just be a little extra episode if you're interested in, some of the yarny places in New Zealand. So,
okay, I'm going to read this comment because I was going to ask for this later. But Kerfuffle says, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. She said there's 390 people in here right now. That is very kind. Thank you for prompting the group to do that.
Thank you.
And it would be very much appreciated if you would just push the like button down below the screen. If you can do that, that's really helpful for the video. It gets it in front of more people, more viewers, can help us expand our community, get more people into the Knit Chat Cafe. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And there's also a bell that I'm pretty sure you're mostly familiar with, but if you click on the bell, then you will get notices, excuse me. You will get a notice every time we have an episode released, and you'll get a half-hour warning before the lives, I believe, the 30-minute warning. So that would be wonderful. And as always, the show is brought to you by Streamyard. This is the platform that we use to run the live, and it's a fantastic platform. And they are coming out with new things all the time. That they are also the developers of that fun giveaway tool that we use, and they make it very easy for a couple of people that are not particularly techie to appear techie, and they make us look good, or we think they make us. Well, look good
I'm not so sure we look techie, but
no. I mean, we're not
That's
techie,
a stretch.
and I just feel it does it. And here I am clicking all the wrong buttons. What I'm trying to get back to is this. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, moving on. Are we moving
should go on to what we're wearing.
Yes, that's where I was headed.
Okay. So I'll go first. I am wearing the Cascada tee by Philippa. Just a minute. I know I've got a banner.
I'll look for it.
Okay, you look for it. I've also got a picture, but I will look for that. Okay. So this tee, it's by Philippa Carnero, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I did mine in Barocco
Remix.
Yes, Remix Light. Remix Light.
Yes.
And I think this is this color is called Cameo, I believe. So it took like 1.6 skeins, because even though it's classed as a DK, the Remix Light has like 400 meters in it. So it's got really generous yardage. Now the pattern I did modify a little bit, because in the original pattern, the lace pattern only goes down one side of the garment.
Yes.
Well, I'm an accountant. I need things to balance. So I had to put the lace panel down both sides. And as you can see, as you go out on the lace panel, you kind of increase out. So I didn't want it to get too wide. So when I got to a certain point, I kept increasing the lace panel, but I did like the increase in the lace, but I did a decrease in the stocking stitch beside it so that I would still get the lace, but I wouldn't have my T going out too wide. So I just kind of staggered out the increases, but on the row where I wasn't increasing, the lace still wanted to increase. So I had to do a corresponding decrease.
Mhm.
And then the other changes that I made was the neckline in the original T was a little bit wider. So I did mine a little bit narrower. And then when I bound off my sleeves, I did, I'm putting to the wrong one. Okay. When I did my sleeves, when I cast off, I did some knit two togethers just to kind of get the little bit of the cap so that the sleeve wouldn't be too wide.
Mhm.
The Barocco, the remix it's gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. It feels like a sweatshirt. It just feels like you've knit with it in the worsted weight.
Yes. Yeah.
And it just feels amazing. And it's a wonderful washable fabric. Like I think it would be really great actually to do like kids sweaters out of it. It comes in a lot of really nice tweedy colors. And yeah, I can't say more about the yarn. And it's actually very cost effective.
It is.
So, and as far as I know, it comes in the DK, which I think you could kind of knit it anywhere between a sport and a DK. It also comes in I believe it's classed as worsted, but we found you could even knit like to
Aran
weight with it. And then I do believe it also comes in a chunky.
Right.
But I'm not positive on that. I could be wrong. So,
in
but
fairness,
it's a Barocco yarn.
Yeah. In fairness, now having knit just the one time to knit that sweater when I did my Fern and Feather, yes.
Yep.
Sweater, the green one that I just finished recently. If I had it to do over, I would have gone up a needle size. The fabric is it's a fabric that I like. The fabric looks really good, but I feel that like I didn't block it. I didn't feel I needed to block it either, but
Right.
it could be just ever so slightly less dense. And I say that because when I've seen, actually, I believe a couple of weeks ago when we were at the coffee shop, Vonda had on a sweater that she had knit in the remix, the worsted remix.
Yep.
And hers was definitely a looser gauge. And it got me thinking, I really wish that I think I knit that sweater on a 4. I wish I had gone up to a 4.5.
See, I'm pretty sure I did mine. I might have even done mine on a 5.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking I should have gone up because like it's a solid fabric. And I'm not unhappy with it, but I might have been ever so slightly happier at a little bit of a looser gauge. So, okay. And my sweater really needs no introduction. I'm wearing the ranunculus. I did pull off a picture from my Ravelry page so you can see the whole sweater so I don't have to stand up. I knit this one. It's not a crop, knitted at a little bit of a longer length. Everybody has knit a ranunculus, although that's not true because I thought I was the only person in the world that hadn't knit one. And apparently lots of people haven't knit one yet. Yeah. But 11,000 people have, according to Ravelry. So
11,000 projects.
Yeah, because I've already knit 2 of them.
And I've knit 3 or 4.
Yes. And I knit this using the Holst yarn, and I held together 2 strands of Coast and 1 strand of Titicaca. In the Coast was stone washed, I believe, and the Titicaca was river rock or river something or other. And I love this. This is probably my favorite sweater. I did the bracelet length sleeves, which are my favorite sleeve length. This sweater is like the ultimate in comfort. It's so lightweight. Like even today, while it's warmer, I mean, it's cool down here, but even on a warmer day, because the Coast is cotton and wool, and then the Titicaca is alpaca, so it's not a mohair. I find the sweater is really breathable, and I couldn't be happier.
Yep.
In fact, so happy that I bought more Coast and Titicaca just to make another one.
So. There's lots of people in here that have not knit a ranunculus, so.
Well, I encourage you to do so if you have not. Someone is asking.
I want to kind of try and find another pattern that's similar.
There's nothing similar. It's
know.
It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants sweater, because it seems like it fits everybody who knits it. There is a second size out now, but for the most part, it was, for the longest time, it was a one size sweater.
Right.
knit in a very lightweight yarn on very big needles. I did not. I went down a needle size, and I'm knitting with 3 strands of yarn, but it seems like no matter who makes this sweater, it
Yep.
just fits. It
And
looks
it is
amazing.
like it does look different depending on the style that you make and
The
the
sleeves, how
yarn
you
that you.
finish it, the length of the
That's
sweater,
right,
so many
because
things.
like I've done like one with just a plain cotton yarn, and then I've done some with mohair held together. You can do it with just a DK. A lot of people have done it with just a fingering weight yarn. So there's lots of different fabrics that you can come up with.
I'm
And
gonna create a mess back here, but I might be able to. Oh, that's the super soft. Nick was asking what my next color is. I can sort of feel it back here. I'm gonna make a mess, I know. This is super soft. This is not the Coast, but I have the Coast in a very similar color. So it's these 2 colors together. And I know this one is a little more red. I don't even know where it is. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I have yarn that I haven't even put away.
so
Big surprise. Big surprise, right? Big surprise. Sorry for the rattling. So I have Coast Bourgogne in this color. And then I have the Titicaca is Venetian. And I know they don't look like they're going to go together, but they will. Just trust the process. They will look really, really nice together.
Yep.
So, okay.
Okay. And this is not an FO for this week, but last week I had showed that I had finished a feather cardigan. Well, I have a picture of the girls wearing it. So this is the feather cardigan by the Velvet Acorn, cute. Who is
Heidi May.
Is she again?
Heidi May.
So this is Isla's 4, Molly's 5. So basically the size is, I did the cuffs fairly tight. So the size is either one of them could actually wear it. So basically they're 4 and 5, but that's basically about the size of the sweater is about a 6 to an 8. So, cause I feel like when you do kids sweaters, like you might as well do it big enough that they're going to wear it for a while. Like, especially when they're only wearing it in like certain seasons, like they're not going to wear it in the summer. So if you do the sleeves long enough, but you put a tight cuff, you know, it can kind of be blousy here, or you can fold the cuff up and then you can always do the sweater a little bit longer. So that was just a picture. They don't each have a sweater. That is the same sweater. That was just a picture that I put together of each of them wearing it. So yeah, so I gotta get busy on more kid sweaters, but there's just not enough time to knit everything.
I did that for Miles. So. I made his sweater sleeves on his little Miles cardigan quite long.
Yeah.
And he has grown so much since last October that he is now wearing the sweater with the cuffs all the way down. And I'm like, oh, it's not going to have it for much longer, but.
Yep. And with the girls, I mean, crop sweaters are in too, right? So they can even wear it as the sweater gets a little bit shorter. Like if you make it long enough first, and then they can kind of have leggings or something with it, and then they can wear it later just over a little dress and it can be shorter.
The crop sweater is not such a good look for little boys. This is a different concept. It's a different concept.
So, okay. Do you have any finishes, Kelly?
Not a knitting finish. Do you have any knitting finishes?
I don't have any. No, I'm so disappointed.
This is a day that I'd like to mark on the calendar just to revisit someday. Noelle didn't have a finish.
No, I don't have a finish.
Okay, so this one starts with a little bit of a story. I have to go into here and put up a picture. So my daughter got me onto this Netflix show. This is where it started. It's one of those reality shows, but it's something that kind of caught my attention. I've blown through 2 seasons, and it's called Next in Fashion. And what they do is they get some designers together, some of them a little bit more known, some a little less known, and they have challenges each week where they spend a couple of days making an outfit. It's for a runway show. So obviously not every concept that they're making is something that you're going to go out and about to the grocery store in. These are runway clothes, so they are a little over the top. But there was a designer in season 2. His name is Nigel, and I became so enamored. He is full on into doing streetwear from upcycled clothing. And it just kind of put a bug in my head that it would be fun to try that. So this past weekend, after I dropped you off on Saturday, I went to a thrift store and I bought a bunch of sweatshirts. So I'm going to start making baby streetwear for Miles. And this is just where I'm starting. So this was the first thing that I bought that I wanted to work on. And this is a woman's hoodie, like a light French terry hoodie. And I think that those are girls' pants, but Miles and his mom both love purple. So I went with it. So I brought these items home, washed them up, and then started cutting into them. And loosely based on some patterns by Brindle and Twig, this is what I came up with. I'll start with the top. I made him a whole outfit. So this is his sweatshirt.
Oh, that's cute.
And it's got striping down the side. So I've cut out all the tie-dye because I really wanted to hold on to that tie-dye and use it everywhere that I could. It's got a functional little kangaroo pocket, and it's an oversized sweatshirt because that's what Kendall likes on him. And then I made him some little skinny-legged joggers.
Cute. Those are cute.
And I managed to make little pockets down the side. And this one, I even was able to retain the Under Armour symbol.
Oh, wow.
And then I pulled they had the tie on the waist. Yep. So I was able to repurpose the cuffs and make them smaller. And then again, just pull in all of that tie-dye. But anyway, he's got these black and white Van runners, and he's just going to be so...
Yeah, that's adorable.
Absolutely stylish and one of a kind. Can't go to the playground and find this on anybody else. Nope. But it was so much fun. And it was just a way to spend a Saturday afternoon being completely creative with my sewing machine. And that's a first effort. I'm sure I'll come up with some bigger, better ideas, different types of streetwear that I could put on a baby, because, babies need streetwear. I don't know why, but anyway, I just thought it would be really cute. And it was a very fun exercise. So if there's any other sewers out there, I sort of want to throw out the challenge to get out there and find something fun to do. And it was, I don't know, it just felt really good to like carve into something and start over. But
I could not even ever envision doing that.
I don't know. So, like, I just kind of looked at it for a little bit and I thought, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? So I've already got some ideas for the next, like I bought a few kind of pieces that would sort of coordinate together. And I've got some ideas to make some other outfits for him, but I had so much fun. So anyway, there we go. My upcycling finish for the week. All right.
Okay.
Are you working on some things? You must be working on things.
Yes, I am working on things. Okay, well, last week I had just started my second Friday tee. So this is the Friday tee by Petite Knit.
You've got a lot done. The last I saw, you were still on the dark stripes. So
yeah. So this is done in Leo and Roxy Basics. The main color is the classic gray. The stripes are more mustard, not quite white, which they're going to change and call quite white. The purple is majestic, and then the black is basic black. So basically, I will be done this by next week. So I've got, I think, another maybe 2 inches to go before I do the rib on the bottom. And this is all broken rib. Again, this is my second one of these, but I absolutely love the texture. Love it. And the basics is working up perfectly for this. It just feels so squishy. It washes beautifully. I dropped the one off that I'd already done, the one in the pink and actually it was Raspberry Ripple and Queen's Navy. But like, I think even this gray, like even just with the white stripe would like make a really nice kind of classic looking, never go out of style tee. Like this is something it's not.
I'm completely really obsessed fatty. With that raglan shaping. Like I like that wider. I'm just obsessed with it.
Yeah. So, yep. And it's got the fold over neck. And again, the pattern actually tells you to pick up when you get to this, you're supposed to knit this stitch together with the cast on. But I find every time I do that, it looks twisted. So I sew it down. Now, one thing, it's not really a modification, but one thing that I do when I'm switched from the rib, which is on a smaller needle, into the body, it tells you to do the rib and then to knit 1 row around and then switch to your larger needle and then do your short rows. It's way easier if you do that 1 row on your larger needle and then do your short rows, because then you're going back and forth on the same needle. Whereas if you do it the way it says in the pattern and you do your row in the smaller needle and then you start your short rows, you've got half your needles or half of your stitches on the smaller needle and half on the larger needle, and you're going back and forth and you sometimes pick up the wrong needle. So it's a lot easier just to do that 1 row on your larger needle and then do your short rows. So yeah, so I'm hoping that I will have that done by next week. I think that I will, as long as I don't get too distracted with something else. So I haven't gotten too bored with it yet. I must say it is a lot easier to do the stripes. Once you get into the plain, it's more like, oh, how much more plain, but
yeah,
but I do like it with just the stripes at the top too. So
I do too. I think it's a really nice look. It'll be interesting to see. I know that they plan to wear those sweaters when, I think, is it in Montreal when they're vending?
They're supposed to be done for Montreal. So Montreal is not till what, the 20th? So
21st,
I mean, like I said, I will get this one done by next week. I have lots of time to get the other one
and
done.
I'm really excited to see the variations in the 3 patterns that you've done, like the 3 of them together. It'll be like a really different look for each sweater.
Yep. Because the next one is kind of like the I think it's the pencil point gray. So it's kind of that heathery gray, and then it's just going to have black stripes, but all the way through. And then one thing I should say too, when I did the stripes in this, because when the pattern tells you actually to start your stripes in the short rows, but because I was only doing 2 stripes of each color and the stripe doesn't go all the way around until after the short rows, I didn't start any striping until after I was done the short rows. Yeah.
I think that's a good decision when you're only doing them in the yoke. I like that.
Yeah.
That was a good way. Good call.
So,
Leo and Roxy is having a birthday on Saturday. Well, I mean, they're going to have a birthday, I think, all weekend, but I think they're having a bit of a party at the store at Little Red Mitten on Saturday. And I'm fairly confident there'll be like some fun stuff going on the weekend. There might be some births, probably a birthday sale. I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing.
We don't know that.
We don't know for sure, but I feel like there's probably going to be something
different
fun going on, or there might be something new, a new colorway.
Yes. Because last year it was something new. Last year for their 4th, they had the linen silk yarn. Yes, so it could be something new or different colors, or anyway. So.
Okay.
Oh, and I should say, because someone asked last week and I didn't get to it, this is done in a fingering weight yarn, because someone asked what the weight of the yarn was. And the Leo and Roxy Basics is a light fingering. I think there's like 463 yards in 100 grams. And the original yarn that Petite Knit does it in is the Sand and Scarn Sunday, or Petite Knit Sunday.
Yes, and I think so.
It is merino, but it is a very fine fingering as well. So.
Well, it's interesting to see what type of a texture you can get using just a thin, like you think about using fingering weight yarn for a sweater, you think it's going to be a very thin sweater.
This feels
that's so plush, so squishy. Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. And the last one, like this, the last one that I did, I think for the raspberry one, and it was, I think it finished a 53-inch bust. Like it took not even 3 skeins of the main color, and then just 1 skein of the contrast color. So, and this one, I'll probably be into the 3rd, but I won't use all of it. And then, I mean, it's just like it was 6 or 7 grams of each of the colors to do the stripes. So it would be a good sweater even to use up bits and pieces of yarn, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, and someone had also asked, and I had thought about that, whether they thought Coast would be a good yarn for it. And I think it would make a really nice summer one in the Coast, because the Coast is again, it's a fine fingering, and the gauge in this is 28 stitches. And I actually think that would be perfect for the Coast.
I think
and
so
you get
too.
a really nice fabric with that. So
I think so. Okay. Are you done talking about it?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. No, I'm done.
I put in some work this week on my Heartwarmer tee. So I'll just pop a picture back in just to remind you what it looks like. It's by Justina Lorkowska. And I'm doing it. My sweater is going to look slightly different because the yarn that she's chosen is a fingering weight sweater again, but hers is a superwash, and her stitch definition is going to be much sharper than mine. So bear that in mind. It is going to be a bit of a different look, and but I am almost ready to split for the sleeves, and I'm also thinking of making my sleeves longer, like to like a elbow length at least, or just below the elbow, and then but a shorter sweater, because I'm wanting to wear mine with something different. Oops, hang on. Tied up in my bag. There we go. So I'm using the Sonder Sunday morning yarn 4-ply, which is their fingering weight, and it's beautiful because it's 75% BFL and 25% Massam, and the color is amazing, and the softness, the squish is amazing. So I'm almost at the sleeve separation. I've got just a little section to finish. I'm not going to lie, there's 2 rows of bobbles in there. Those bobbles literally took me hours to do a row, but I'm really happy with how the bobbles came out. There we go. I should have put it on a cord so I could really stretch it out and show you. So you're not going to get the full effect, but it's
Gorgeous.
looking pretty good. Pretty good. I'm really happy with it. And you can see the bobbles. And if I do say so myself, I think I did hella good bobbles. Look at these bobbles. They look really nice. I deviated from the pattern. I did them differently. I did mine in a way that you, excuse me, I keep getting this crabby throat. I don't turn my work to do the bobbles. I'm just knitting them all from the knit side, and they're done over 5 stitches. So then I just slide them back onto the left needle and then re-knit them again, and then I cast off. You do yours a little bit differently. Yeah. You're knitting backwards.
I knit backwards. Yeah.
So you're going.
So I still never have to turn the work.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what really slows you down when you're doing bobbles, is if you.
Well, I don't think I could have been much slower no matter what I did. Because like I said, it literally took hours to do these bobble rows, but I absolutely love this sweater. This I'm planning to finish and take to Montreal. This is going to be my Montreal sweater.
Kelly,
I love this color.
You need to put the instructions for how you did your bobbles on your Ravelry page. That way, when it's linked, people can see.
Oh, I will. I will for sure. Okay. Yeah, I will. Anyway, happy with that. Happy with my progress. Would have had more done if it weren't for those 2 bobble rows, but there are no more bobble rows. So
there you go.
Expecting to fly through the pattern now.
So,
okay. What else are you working on?
Okay. So it's April. So I had to start my April socks. So this is my next color from Timber Yarns, and this is the Sunset. So this is my 4th pair for Christmas 2023. And this one, I started with a 2x2 cuff. Then I just did 1 purl round to kind of separate it out. And then I'm doing a 3x1 rib, but I'm doing a broken rib so that every other row is plain knitting. And then the other rows are knit 3 purl 1, just for a little bit of texture in it. And because I like it better than just doing a plain sock. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. Absolutely love this color. I would like a pair for myself in this color, but
you say that about everything you knit.
Okay, but I would like a pair in this color, but I really do like it. And this is one of the guys' socks, because I'm doing all the guys' socks first, because last year the girls all got socks. And so just in case I don't get everybody's done, the guys will be done for sure. But I'm pretty much staying on track. So these have to be done by the end of April, but I'm pretty much staying on track, and I'm sure that they'll get done. So, and again, that's Timber Yarns twin sock marled, and she's got it in all different colors. And this color, I do believe, is out now. So the sunset color.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Peggy was just asking what the sweater was that I'm working on. So I've popped the banner up. It is called the Heartwarmer Tee by Justina Lorkowska. And I'm really enjoying it because it's almost like a sampler sweater. Like everything in that yoke is sort of different sets of stitches. It's kind of reminiscent to me of when we made those summer news sweaters. They had a lot of different things. So you don't get bored. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And
Okay, what else
then
are you working on?
we have a question here from Lynn about the row by row sampler. She was changing the needle size, or was changing the needle size for the ribbing our only modification. Yes, I believe it was.
Except I did mine longer because I still had yarn. So I
That's
did it
true. I
longer.
did. Yes, I
Yeah.
did an extra. I think I was able to get an extra little section as well. And
Yeah.
then, and how much yarn did I have left over? I think I played yarn chicken and I got to that. Like it
I
was
still
pretty
had a
good.
little bit, not very much, but again, in our case, it's because that we did want to use all the yarn. So we kept going. It was nothing to do with actual running out of yarn, just wanting to use as much as we could.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Before I go on to my next thing that I'm working on, Sarah had a question. She wants to know if I had an ironing board recommendation. She's looking for a more stable one. Sarah, I don't actually use an ironing board. What I did is I had a taller, like a cabinet, it was like something in my daughter's bedroom that she had for years. So it would be, I'm just looking at it. It's on the other side of my room now. It's probably about 4.5 feet tall. And then I had my husband build like a longer counter with a leg on it. And then I made my own pressing board that I covered in duck cloth. So I have the heat resistant fabric underneath it and covered in duck cloth. That's what I use. So I have a pressing station. Now, as much as I love that for pressing out anything that's flat, I will admit that when I'm making garments, sometimes I find that that is hindering to me because I want to put it over like the finer
And
end of
right.
an ironing board. So it's not a one and done. Like the pressing station is super nice. When I was making a lot of bags, it was amazing to be pressing out the bags because it's a nice high height. I have the Oliso iron that you don't have to like stand up or anything. You walk away from it. It pops up and down all on its own. So I really like that. But I too would be looking for some kind of an ironing board for when I'm doing sewing, like garment sewing. And so if you find a good solution, Sarah, let me know because my ironing board that I have in my laundry room, it's
Yeah,
tragic.
the only
It's,
one that I
it's the
have is
old,
like,
yeah, that makes the creaking
yeah,
noise when you slam it
yep,
down. It makes a
yep,
creaking noise when you put it away. It's not
yep.
very stable. I'm
So,
always nervous of the iron because the ironing board is not stable.
yeah,
So probably a built-in thing. If you could get somebody to build you in one that drops out of the wall
for your
would be
wall,
your
yeah.
best bet. But I'm now painfully out of wall space down here. So I don't know if that's coming in my future anytime soon. Okay. Also working on, or what else are you working on? Do you want to
No,
go?
no, go ahead because I've got to go get mine. So you go ahead.
Okay. So last week I showed some new yarn that I couldn't wait to dive into. It was the Roots and Rain yarns. And oh, I got a weird thing up there. Okay, sorry. Roots and Rain yarn. And they call this their field sock or her field sock. She is a small batch dyer in Ottawa, and she uses all natural products for dyeing. So this one is using red onion skin to get this color, and she dyes it using rainwater that she has collected. So everything about that concept I liked, and I ordered. I was not disappointed. So this is the one color I got, red onion skin. And then the other color that I got is Eastern Brazil wood. And I just got this last week and I was saying how I was going to cast it on that night. The problem is I get finicky about needles, and I knew that for me, I would want to knit this on wooden 9-inch needles. And the pattern, because this is a thicker sock yarn, needs a 3mm, and I did not have a 3mm wooden needle. So finally, I couldn't wait any longer. Last night, I cast it on before I went to bed using my trusty Chagoos, and it was okay. But today at work, because I had it shipped to work, my needles came in from Acme Fibers. So I got home tonight and I knit just a few rows on this. Can I just say it's heavenly? It is everything I dreamed about because these wooden needles are the Haya bamboo, and they are exactly what they say they are. They are natural feeling. They are smooth as silk. They have flexible cables and perfect joins. They are all of that and then some. So anyway, this is the Eastern Brazil wood colorway. Look how big that cake is too, by the way. very big cake. And so I just started this, but
I love that color. Love it.
cover my face
Yeah.
so it comes. There we go. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Look at the colors in there. Just check it out.
Yeah,
Friends, I tell you, I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. So the pattern that I'm making, it's her pattern too that she used. I have a picture of it in here. It is called the Northern Comfort sock pattern, and it's on her site where you buy the yarn. I'm also obsessed with that middle colorway of blue.
I
It was
know.
not available when I ordered, but it will not be my only order. So these socks, they do remind me a lot of the DRK everyday socks. So for my size, which is a lady's 8 to an 8.5, there's only 48 stitches in there,
Yep.
friends. They're just beautiful. So I can't wait. So tonight when the show's over, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to go sit myself down and I will be knitting on these because I love everything about it. Beautiful yarn. Absolutely beautiful yarn. Okay.
Well, I had to cast on something new too, but I just started it just today. But I thought I was doing a lot of the plain at the bottom of the Friday tee, and I thought I wanted to cast this one on. Actually, I told you I was going to cast it on before, but then we got busy with Easter and cooking and didn't have time. But so this is all I've got so far.
That's okay. It's still a cast on.
It's still a cast on. This is going to be the Cravat Tee by Caitlin Hunter. So I do,
which I'm also slightly obsessed with. When I saw that video of Lisa that you did the interview,
yeah. Like, so this is the Cravat Tee. I don't like it. I like this picture of hers doesn't make me want to knit it.
I don't feel that the color does the sweater justice. So when you did the little interview with Lisa, and I immediately couldn't stop staring at her sweater. I thought, oh my gosh, what is that sweater she's wearing? I've never seen it. It's amazing. And you said it's a Caitlin Hunter pattern. I'm like, no, I know every single Caitlin Hunter pattern because I do like Caitlin's patterns. Yep. And I said, I don't remember that one. And then, yeah, it's definitely the yarn. It's beautiful.
This is my color. So this is called, what's it called? Aged Leather. So this is actually yarn that I did get at Unwind and Knit With Me at Lisa's store. So this is Nurturing Fibers Super Twist Sock. It is 100% merino. It's non-superwash. It's a really high twist. So I think the pattern and the cables and the lace are going to show up, at least that like the pattern, the twist stitches is going to show up really nice with this yarn. And then my contrast color is this pink, which is called Cherry Blossom. And I looked up this company online. This is a company in South Africa, and it's got I'm really like their motto and their work ethic. Like they're very green oriented and providing jobs in the community, and everything right at the moment is still done kind of small batch. But I love those two colors together. I love the feel of the yarn, and I can't wait to get more knit on that. But I have to get this done, and I have to get the other one done.
Yes.
And then I want to do this sweater and another sweater for myself from Montreal.
Well, yeah, are we going to talk about that too?
We are.
Okay. So I just want to, before we move to that, I just want to go back. Reknits. I'm sorry, I don't know your first name. You said you've been waiting all week for a demo of the easier Norwegian Pearl. I'm sorry, I remembered it and then I kind of forgot about it. And then last night it was just too late. By the time I was putting the things in here that I needed to put in, it was too late. I promise I won't forget for next week. I will get on to that. And because I want to try it too before I talk about it. And you won't be disappointed. It's very nice. So, okay. Now we can move on. Okay. We can talk about how
just let me say that
expensive it is to go to the coffee shop.
Go to the coffee shop on Saturdays
with Julia.
That coffee has just gotten more and more expensive every week we go.
Yes. Well, so Julia was knitting a Cozy Classic raglan. Now, it's a beautiful colorway she was using, but she took it a step further and she included the Cosmos yarn by King Cole, which has it's like a lace weight or maybe even lighter. It's very, very iridescent cord, and it has teeny tiny sequins on it. And
It's
she is
gorgeous. It's like,
holding it with her Cozy Classic raglan. She looks
yeah,
like a beautiful disco ball.
yeah.
Actually, what was it? Who was it that said? Oh, Dawn said that if she went out, do you remember the movies Twilight and how the vampires kind of glowed when they went outside? Julia will look like that if she steps out in the sunshine. It's just
Oh,
amazing.
I'm thinking of the mirror ball in the Dancing with the Stars.
Well, that too. That I told her she needs to get little mirror ball earrings to wear with that sweater. So we came up with our own ideas that we want to do with that, with the sparkle yarn. And we
Yeah.
left the coffee shop and promptly I went to drop Noelle off and we sat down and we ordered it. And it's on its way. It's been shipped today. So we'll be able to show you that.
And
And we have some
it
big
doesn't
plans.
it doesn't count as yarn
It doesn't because
because
it's a
it's a
condiment.
condiment.
Yes, it's condiment.
Because you hold it with other yarn, so it is a condiment.
Yes. Julia's saying it's actually a cobweb weight. And
Okay.
she's holding it with the marl in the natural, which is the
Yep.
black and very charcoal gray. And then she's using her mohair choice is the Leo and Roxy Purple Haze.
Yep.
Stunning. Alone, those two yarns would be amazing. But when you add the sequins,
Just that
and they're like
sparkle, yeah.
multicolored sequins too, on a silver thread, were they not on a silver thread?
Yes.
Yes. I have no words. It's so beautiful.
Yep.
So Noelle and I flagrantly had to get on the sequined wagon and we ordered.
I was ready to do it right there in the coffee shop.
Well, yeah, but I still had to come up with a sweater. So the more we talked about things, the more I finally I zoned in on a pattern. And I don't know. I think we'll wait to tell the patterns.
Okay.
And
Well, the same
we'll get
Julia.
Oh, that's right. Yours is the same. Yes.
Except different colors.
And mine is going to be a slightly different concept. So I've changed up the style with which we'll be knitting the sweater. So I think it's going to be really good.
Kelly, to be fair, we both bought 2 sweater quantities of it.
Okay. But can we say that a sweater quantity is like this big? Because there's what, 400 yards and it's a small price.
But I bought 3 of the, I got 3 of the silver, the one with the silver thread, and 3 of the one with the gold thread.
Yes. And I was perfectly happy to stop with the black multicolored sequins that I got. And Noelle was like just edging me on. She's like, don't you think you'd like this one?
You're going to want it. You're going to want it. You're going to be disappointed if you don't get it.
Yes. And Natalie says that she went home and ordered it as well. So
yeah. So
Isabel says she has no more condiments left in her fridge after the ice storm. Oh no, she had to throw, I thought she ate it, but she said she had to throw it all away. Now she has to buy everything.
Isabel,
again.
we keep ours in our knitting stash.
Yes. Yes. So anyway, it's absolutely beautiful. And we are anticipating having these sweaters ready for Montreal as well.
I know. Like, so I only have 4 sweaters to knit before Montreal.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and a pair of socks.
And a pair of socks. Yes. Okay. So, what is the name of the condiment? It is Cosmos, Cosmos,
Cosmos,
by King Cole.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we ordered ours from Wool Warehouse.
Wool Warehouse. And it shipped today.
Yep. I know, because the first thing I said to Kelly today is, did our yarn come yet? So we ordered it Saturday of Easter weekend in the UK. Sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's here. Yeah. And Heather says it sounds like she saved a lot of money by staying away from us at the coffee shop this weekend. But you know what?
Heather, you're going to want it.
You're going to want it. Oh my gosh. Those little grandbabies of yours with some sparkle. Oh, it's just,
well, that's why I got more, because I thought if I don't use it, I know that the girls will love something with it in it. Even if you did them a hat, they'd love
anything. It's just, it's a nice little luxury item to have.
Think of one in a little Sophie scarf with the sparkle in it.
Well, I don't know, because we did talk about we're not putting the sequins right around the neck, right? We're going to do the neck bands.
But we felt Julia's. It doesn't feel like.
Yeah.
Julia just didn't do hers in the neckband because she didn't want to do the tubular cast on holding the 3 strands of yarn together.
Right. True. Okay.
So.
All right. Well.
Like, I didn't think it felt that bad. I think I could wear that. Those were soft sequins.
Carrie said that she used it last week in a Love Note sweater, and she said it was stunning. Oh my gosh, it would be. It would totally be.
Marg, I am not an enabler.
You definitely are. Actually, she's worse than an enabler, Marg, because I was completely content to go away with one sweater. She's like, no, you need the second one. She just wants to feel justified that she's got somebody going down that rabbit hole with her, I swear. If I'm going down, I'm taking somebody with me, she thinks.
You're going to be happy when that yarn comes and you get to keep.
Oh, yes. I'll be so happy.
That's right.
I don't have time to knit the stuff I have now, but yes, let's order more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of ordering more.
Did you get any yarn this week?
Well, I did. Actually, I do have some yarn that I forgot to show you last week. I completely forgot it upstairs, so I will show it off this week. I got some yarn from Jeannie says, you're not an enabler, you're a facilitator.
There you go. I like that term much better.
Yeah. So I also got some yarn from Timber Yarns, and this is for some Christmas socks for my daughter. And this is the, Marled Pretty Pink. So no sock twins. Oh, I saw that yawn, Noelle. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
So look at how beautiful this pink is in the marl.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I would never do the DRK everyday socks for anybody but myself, but I will. I will make Kendall a pair because she's sock worthy, and this is beautiful.
Now, is that one striped or is it all pink?
I think it's all pink. It's a full marled.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's not in two, right? Because it's all one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then I did get a twin sock, though. I'm going to make a pair of socks for my husband, and this one is marled honey wood. And I know it's going to be hard to see the striping in here, but there is a gold stripe, a brown stripe, and it looks like that. Is it that coffee? It's called coffee, but it's almost like a deep, deep maroon purple.
Yeah,
it's very beautiful. And this will be striped, a matching pair. So, because I think he's sock worthy too. He's really into the socks all of a sudden. Good. Detriment to me, so that'll be less socks for me. But anyway. Okay. I got some more, but did you get any?
Might have.
Might have.
Okay, so I went to Little Red Mitten to drop off one of the Friday tees that I finished. Mm-hmm. And I just, of course, had to look and see what they had. And I ended up getting some of this. So this is Lang Yarns. It's called Linello. It is a DK weight, I think. Yes, DK weight, and it is 40% linen, 32% cotton, and 26% viscose. But like, I don't know if you can see the colors in it. It was the colors that I fell in love with, because I don't even like knitting with linen, but I do want linen sweaters. I just don't like knitting with it.
I like the finished product, but I don't like working with it either.
So I want to see one where you can see more of that, because it's got like the golds, but then it also goes into the pinks. Can you see it?
I think it's actually because it's picking up too much. There, that's better. We can actually see it.
Okay.
Now.
It's like it's coming up in the pink. So it does work up like kind of striped, but more subtle, because maybe you can see better there. See how it goes into the pinks? Anyway, like it feels really nice. It's got a beautiful sheen to it. So I think I would like to do like a summer kind of long sleeve just to put on in the evening. So I got 4 of them, which should be enough. And yeah, it was the color that got me on that. I just really like that bronzy pinky, just looked like a good summer color. So
nice.
And then the other thing that I got was a condiment. So this is, they had just gotten this in. So this is the Make It Tweed. So this again is like a really skinny strand of yarn that's got different little colors of flex in it. It is 35% viscose, 35% acrylic, and 30% polyamide. It's 475 meters and a 50-gram ball. But again, what you do with this is you hold it with another plain yarn to make the yarn tweed. So
that's been on my hit list for a while now. I really like that. That looks nice.
Yeah, it was the first time that I'd seen it. I haven't seen this one in a different color. So this kind of like the strand and the little flecks all turn different colors. So I think this would look really good in a just like a light gray, and have all those little pops of tweed coming through it. Or you could even add it to a sock yarn to make a tweed sock yarn. Like, because you could hold it with the classic gray to do a pair of socks with it. Anyway, yeah, so you can see it's really like the strand itself. It's not going to add, it won't add like another weight to the yarn itself, because the strand is like almost as thin as sewing thread, and then you've just got the little tweed neps on it. So
it's pretty.
yep.
Isabel is reminding you. She
that
said
one doesn't count.
Isabel says that the Linello yarn that you bought would be so great for the summer line tee by Hinterm Stein.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up. So.
And Jeannie is making a Kentia top in fingering linen as she's watching this, and she said her hands are mad at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love linen tops. I just don't, it's not my preferred thing to knit with. I would much rather knit with wool. So.
Okay. Sue's asking what brand of needles I was talking about. If you mean the wooden ones that I got today to work on this sock, I got the Haya bamboo. And the bamboo is it's polished. So like, don't think that it's going to cling to your work in any way. Like you can see a little bit of a shine on them. They're a polished needle, and they are very smooth, very, very smooth. And I just like the way a rustic yarn feels on a polished wood needle. There's something about, I don't know, some people talk about it being warmer in your hands. I don't really know that I notice that. I just like the way the yarn slides. I will say, and you said you didn't have a problem with this, but when, for instance, I've been knitting this, the Sondra yarn on
metal.
Yes, because I'm using my Knitter's Pride, the Mindful Meditation set. I find this yarn is really super slippery. So when I was doing some of the detailed cabling, because I don't use a cable needle to cable, I just flip stitches around. And I found that it was a little trickier because this is such slippery yarn. I love how it's gliding across the needles, but in some of the stitches, it was a little dicey. Where did I buy them? I buy a lot of my needles from a store called Acme, ACME. I will type it on here. She has a good supply, Acme Fibers, and she's here in Ontario. What I like about her needles is if you're just looking for like one pack of like a single needle or something, she will ship it just letter mail for $2. It's $2.19.
Yeah.
So
I've ordered some from there before. And
I
they usually
definitely
come relatively
appreciate
quickly.
that. Yes, I ordered these exactly a week ago, and they showed up today, and that was even with the Easter holiday. And we had a long weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
So highly recommend her for needles.
Now Britt was asking the name of the sock pattern, so
I can pop it up one more time. Oh, you know what? I don't think I put a name on it, did I? No, I didn't. Let me type. Northern Comfort sock pattern.
And can you buy it on Ravelry, or is it just from the Roots and Rain website?
I don't know if it's on Ravelry or not. I got it directly from the Roots and Rain, like where we ordered the yarn. So, and it was reasonably priced. I believe the pattern was $5. So, whoops, I typed it and I didn't show it. There we go. There. Okay. I got one more yarn. I got one more bag of yarn. So I ordered this a while ago, and it just got picked up at the post office today. I've been wanting this for a while. I do have a pattern for it, but I finally got my Newton yarn. I ordered a 300-gram bag. This is how it came packed. And I don't know how she did it. Sorry for the crumpling, but it was packed like this, and she still had this squished in it too. I don't know how she did it. So I
know how she did it, because I had to bring yarn home from New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
You can squish yarn pretty darn.
I haven't pulled this out, so I don't even know how many plates there are in here. There's quite a few. And I'm going to hazard a guess and say that there's likely more than 300 grams in there as well. But this is the colorway Moreau. Look at the beautiful colors in there. There's so much color. Oh, there's a better side right there.
Yeah.
Look at that. When she was describing it, she said, think of spring green and a carrot. which doesn't particularly sound appealing, but I really think this looks beautiful. I'm anxious to see it. And I think it's a color I can wear. So I did have an idea. And then I had this shawl pattern in my Ravelry for a while. And then Vonda showed up one day at the coffee shop and she's wearing the shawl pattern. So the shawl that I'm thinking about is Sulina by Stephanie Earp, who is Espestrico.
Yep.
And Vonda's looked absolutely stunning because it really showed the patterning quite well. And it was just a very plush. This, even though this is huge, like it, I feel like it weighs nothing. And
yeah,
my goal for this is to have another, like a house shawl, because I love the, like the coziness of the yarn without the heaviness, no weight. And this is really, really beautiful. So it comes, it's unspun if you're not familiar with Nudiden. And I don't know where the beginning of this is. So I was going to try to show you. You can knit with, like, it's very, it will break very easy, but a lot of people knit. And I'm pretty sure for that shawl pattern, I would be holding it double.
Does the yarn come double stranded? Like, does it come off your plate double stranded?
I have no idea. I can't find an end here. This will be fun. I think it does. I haven't knit with it yet, so I really don't know a lot about it.
Sue says that she's knit that shawl and she really likes it.
Yeah. Well, again, it's maybe going to take me a little bit of time here to figure out where this ball even starts. It didn't come with instructions. I don't know where it starts. I don't want to start pulling at things, but I have no idea. Well, that'll be an experiment in and of itself, won't it, friends? I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited to finally have some. This stuff is hard to get. Hard to get.
Frank Sprove here.
Uh-oh. Sorry. I turned that on Do Not Disturb. Sorry. Come on, stop. This is Frost's phone, but I seriously actually did put it on Do Not Disturb. Oh,
Isabel wants to know how I managed to order the Nudiden. It sounds very mysterious. Well, she only has updates. So this is from Sweden, and it's Swedish wool. She doesn't even specifically tell you the breeds. She says that there's several heritage breeds of sheep, and she does do a shop update, I think almost quarterly. So I follow her on Instagram, and she lets you know when the shop update is going to be, and she gives you a time. And she does have a group of Patreons that have access to the yarn, I think the day before it goes into like the general shop. So I know Vonda, who we knit with, is a Patreon. So she was able to get her hands on my first choice color, which was a beautiful turquoise. And this was my second choice color because the turquoise was sold out. I knew that it was going to be at 10 o'clock my time the next day, which I'm not going to lie, that's when I'm at work. So I was sort of thinking, I didn't realize how fast it went, but it was probably about 10:15 before I got in there, and that teal was completely gone. And so there was still,
it might have been gone. It might have been gone before.
It might have been,
it was
but
even on that day.
But
so.
There were single cakes or plates of this available in 100 grams. So I was going to order 2 because that's what I needed. But by the time I made up my decision to do that, in the matter of mere moments, all of the 100 grams were completely gone, and all that was left were the 300 gram bags.
Okay.
Which is how I ended up with this big bag of yarn. So even in the bag, it's pretty. Look at how pretty that is. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. Maybe I'll find the end, and I will respond back next week if it's single or double.
It's just single.
Single? Okay.
Yep.
Wow. It's kind of like the Where's Waldo.
So Mark says that when she winds from 2 plates into a ball, and then she knits from the ball.
That's what Vonda said she was doing as well.
Yeah. So
okay.
Probably rather than, and it might be easier to pull it off a ball. Like you don't want to have any tension on it when you're pulling it.
No, because I think
it would break fairly easily. So.
But it's really interesting to look in there. Like even when I'm looking in here, like there's so many, like you can just really see the different fibers of the sheep. Like there's a lot going on in here. So I'm anxious to I don't know that that's going on the needles anytime really soon, but I'm happy to have
Yeah,
it.
it's probably not a summer yarn.
I'm thinking not.
No, so.
Yeah. Okay, and
Okay,
Mickey's
well,
saying to check out the tulip sweater made with nudiden. Okay, I'll check that one out. I'll mark it down.
we should, we're getting on in time here. We should talk about our knit-alongs.
Yep.
So we have 3 knit-alongs going on. First of all, there's our sock knit-along. Our sock knit-along started January 1st, goes to the end of the year. And every month we draw prizes and we go back to the beginning of the year to the end of the month and draw prizes from that pool of socks that are in there. All you have to do is finish socks and put them in there. Doesn't matter when you started them. You just have to finish them and put them in there. And there's amazing socks in there. If you want any sock inspiration, just go and have a look at all the socks that people have knit. They're gorgeous.
Absolutely.
So, and if you want to show your progress on Instagram, you could use the hashtag KNP Sockalong 2023. Okay. And then our next knit along is our Smash That Stash. So you can see by Kelly and me, we're really like not buying yarn because we're knitting from our stash. We are knitting from stash, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's curbed our our buying habits. But I'm gonna try. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna try harder. There's too many yarn things coming up that there's always some new things coming out, and you know what? It just brings us joy to buy it. So,
well, I have to admit, I feel like I made really good progress. When I started this year, I said my whip a week, and I was finishing a whip every week. And then last week I said, oh no, I'm going to take the week off because I wanted to cast on some things. And by this week, I'm just going to flat out admit I fell off this train. Okay. I'm not even going to try. Next week, there'll be no whip a week. There'll be no more talk of whip a week, because now you're right. With the season changing, well, there's a couple, there might be several cast-ons a week, but I have to build up that whip again, so that whip wagon again, so that I can, have something to climb back on in the winter. I feel differently about knitting in different seasons. And with the change of the season now with spring, I mean, I definitely want to be knitting all of the spring sweaters. And then we've got some things coming up that we're going to. So I want new sweaters and new outfits to wear. So like my sewing mojo has kind of come back. I've got some patterns about over on the table that I want to work on to take away. I've got sweaters I want to do. And then as I've gotten some of these new yarns in, even though, I mean, I don't need this weight of sock at this time of year for sure, but this is an exception.
But socks always have to be on the needle. Like you need to have socks to take to the coffee shop or take wherever. But so yeah, it's just, you want to be happy knitting what you're knitting. And that's, to me, what it's all about. I want to be happy knitting.
And right now, happy is casting on.
Yep.
It just totally
is. There's so many, anyway, I mean, we can all agree that the one thing that we just don't have enough of is time.
Time, absolutely.
So anyway, for the Smash That Stash though, what we do want you to do is knit from your stash. So any yarn that's been in your stash previous to January 1st, 2023, you can use. So all you have to do is use at least 50 grams. There is a thread on Ravelry to put your finished projects in there. We are now into the second quarter. So we've already drawn the prize for the first quarter. We will draw a prize every quarter. And then at the end of the year, we will have a grand prize, and we will draw those from all of the people that have actually knit a project from their stash and put it into each of the 4 quarters.
All 4 quarters, yes.
So, yeah. Okay. And then Kelly, you can talk about the...
Oh, you always make me talk about the one I know the least about.
No, you always say you need to know the least about the Smash Your Stash one.
It's because you keep adding rules. The Burra Cowl. So this came about with the Marie Wallen pattern, and it's a make-along that we're running for the entire year. There's some other podcasters involved. You can see their names on the bottom of this screen. And so this is an opportunity to be like double dipping, triple dipping, or I think like 8-time dipping. If you count up all the podcasters that are in there, everybody has different rules or different things that they're doing, but basically any Marie Wallen pattern will count. And she has multiple patterns. It doesn't have to be something as ambitious as a full color work sweater. She has hat patterns. I think she has some mitten patterns and
socks. She has crochet.
She does. That's right. I forgot about that. But we personally have decided to include another designer as well, who is
Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford. Yeah.
Yes. Because some of her patterns we feel are similar to Marie Wallen's, but they are more size inclusive for all of our body types. So knit anything from either one of those designers, enter it into our thread on Ravelry, and on December 31st, there'll be a good prize.
Yep. And you could do a pair of Marie Wallen socks from Stash.
Yes.
And that could go in all three of our cows.
Yes. Yes.
Because it could go in the socks, it could go in the Smash That Stash, and it could go in the Marie Wallen. So.
Very good.
So.
Okay, so Marla is asking for the name of the shawl. I don't think okay. Debbie has already answered. The shawl is Sulina by Stephanie Earp.
And I believe someone said they thought that it was also in the 52 Weeks of Shawl book.
Yes. So. I think it is too. Yes. So, and it's just a beautiful shawl. It's like I said, I like these house shawls where they often don't, sometimes they leave my house, but they often live on the backs of chairs and couches. And when I just need something around my neck, the shawl is like, it's right there. And they travel.
I know your night shift. That's right. They go everywhere with us. So okay. So I have to go knit.
Apparently I do as well. I do.
Because I didn't have an FO this week. So, and I do see a lot of comments in here, which is great news that the Kitchener-Waterloo Knitters Fair is back on in September. So I know we had a good time at that last year. So I'm glad to hear that it's back on. So, and
we have a date for it yet?
I don't know if there's a date for it yet or not. It was around, when was it last year? Like September 9th or something. It's usually the weekend after Labor Day. But yeah, we're kind of getting into, other than I guess you don't really have a whole lot in July and August. Well, other than our meetup in Chicago, which is not really it's basically
not a yarn
just
festival.
Knitting. It's not
just
really
a hangout
festival. Yeah,
hang out and knit, which is amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yes, it is. That's right. So,
someone is asking if we have. Sorry. Here we go. Canadian goodbye again.
Yes.
You keep asking questions and we're going to keep answering. Do we have any specific yarns in mind for Knit City Montreal?
I want to check out Mayak. And I want to go to, we're going to go to Espace Tricot. I'd also like to go to La Maison Tricoté because last year when we were there, we didn't get to that one. And since I was there, which was a few years back before the pandemic, they have actually opened another storefront. So I'd really like to go and check that out. So, but I don't have anything specific in mind as far as, there was one shawl that I liked, that Smilga shawl. I can't remember the design. I'll show it next week. That was one thing that I was thinking about, but
that was for the Mayak. Yes.
Yeah. But really, I'm just really excited about going to see everybody. So
I feel like tonight I had this high level of excitement. I don't know why. It just I've got stuff here that I really want to work on, places I want to go, people I want to see.
Yep.
I'm excited about the sequined yarn. Like I just feel like tonight I have this like high level of excitement. So
yeah. But I just hit something.
Yeah, you did.
Anyways.
Alice received her prize today. You're very welcome, Alice. Very good. So. All right.
Okay. I haven't had supper yet, so I gotta go.
Yeah, me as well.
I'm starving.
Okay. Me as well. So are you going to put in some show notes for tomorrow?
Yes, they will. They won't be in probably till tomorrow night, but yes, I will put them in. So that way, anything that we've talked about, any of our projects, you'll be able to link to them and see what we've used. Yeah. So.
Okay. And I will go in after and do the time codes. And don't forget to give a thumbs up if you had fun tonight hanging out with us. And we certainly had fun hanging out with you. We had fun. We have fun every week.
We do.
We do. So. We do.
But
okay. Well,
anyway, thanks for joining us. Yep. We will see you next week and happy knitting.